can't see Lakwita. I'm going to send you another stream link anyway, so that you can see Lakwita. But yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we actually back online. There was a glitch there with the stream just stopped. Thanks for following it. And guess what, everybody? We have no other person but AYK Ayokovi Ajayi live and direct online, the former president of the Chess Players Association of Nigeria. She's here with us right now. AYK, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, Wally. Hi, how are you?
Oh, very, very fine. With me here is no other person but your teammate of Team Sachs, Lakwite Oluwadurotimi, your boy. Abi, so your fish.
My boy.
Well,
Your fish.
Wow.
And now she was beating you with the KID back then now.
Please, I would like to hear what she has to say. Then.
What did you just say? Exactly.
Mr. Akute is a fine young man now, and I dare say a sage in his own right. So let's just give honors. It's good to see. It's good to see you, Rotimi.
Yes, AYK, it's great to see you. It's been a while.
Yes,
It's
quite.
been a while that you have been in the chess scene. So, some people don't know you. They don't know how fearsome your KID was. They don't know how
One
much
of the
impact.
emphasis was
Well, was yes. They don't know how much impact you made on the Nigerian chess scene. The Sipan Chess League. And all those things. The new coming Nigerian players. They don't know all the great things that my captain AYK has done. So really great to see you and have you on the show.
But actually, for free. Of all the presidents of the Nigerian Chess Players Association that I was able to meet up with, like, of course, there is a bias actually because she is the only one I actually worked with, and I could say even with during our own tenure, it was there was time of calm and there was time of war, and we were able actually through her. I think she did something that was remarkable when it comes to leadership skills. Involving everybody involved, as in everybody on the board was being involved, and with one caveat in mind, the what is it called, the welfare of all the chess players. So any decision we are making is a function of how is it bettering the chess players. So it is not a function of I beg me, we leave that one alone, Jerry. We cannot the fight is too toxic, we cannot fight it. Let us go and paddy. No, let's stand neutral, face everything as it is, and here we are. It was one of the best moments of chess in Nigeria that I can personally attest to. That was part of actually. Yeah. Thank you so much for all you do, and even in diaspora where you are right now, you're still doing some things down there. We're seeing it, but you like silent. She likes it quiet. Don't mention my name, please. Don't mention my name. And guess what? She started teaching chess in where she is. And how is the chess training going?
so. First of all, it's not bad actually. Um, you know, for me personally, just when I first started playing. So unlike most people, I didn't start playing till I was in university. That was the first time I started playing chess. So and one of the things that happened or that I realized with that was that most people, they found it hard to manage chess and schoolwork,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
At the same time. So, but in my own situation, because I started late, and my folks didn't really like the idea of me playing chess. So we had a how do you say um we had an arrangement. I had to do well in school to continue playing.
Chess.
So that was that. But having said that, I realized that a lot of people left. I mean, as much as chess is cerebral, you find that some people actually don't let that aspect of it impact their lives positively. So anyway, moving on to CPAN is that I that was what was important to me. As a chess player, your distinction in the game must show. in your life.
Yeah.
Um, when you are a good thinker, a good strategist, um, when your mental capacity has improved because of your chess play, it must show in your life.
Yeah.
Because if not, then how do you, you know, how do you ascribe the worthiness that the game requires? So moving on to the kids that I work with now, my emphasis really isn't on the chess itself, but how again the chess improves your decision making. So with a lot of people I'm working with, I try to use a lot of real life analogies. One of the ones that comes to mind very easily is every time, when you start teaching them after you get through how the pieces move and piece value and all of that, at some point when you start playing games, you always see on the student's face two things. Number one, when they get to that point in the middle game where they don't know what to do,
Yeah.
like they've played the opening, they know e4 e5, they find your pawn on uh e5 with knight c3 and all of that. They brought the bishops out,
They've
but they don't
cancelled
know
their
what
king.
next to do after
What
castling.
next? Yeah.
So my question to them always is, if you came to my house and you know you got in and you're not sure who to talk to or what was the first thing that you would do, or what's the first thing you would not do? So everybody always answers the question with they take off their shoes. So see, you take off your shoes. So you know that the first thing not to do is not to wear shoes into my house. So whenever you are stuck in game, first thing you should not do. What's the first thing you should not do? Everybody always says the first thing not to do is give your opponent a free
Free
piece.
piece.
So everybody has agreed on that, right? So how do you determine what piece is free? A piece that, and don't forget, my students and I were very elementary. Oh. Forget all this KIA that you are doing. We are very elementary in our approach to our chess studies. So, how do you not lose a piece? Well, make sure that number one, the piece is not in my opponent's way. Number two, that we don't have more attackers than defenders. So we work from there, and you find out that for most beginners, by the time you do that for each, so the lesson now is in patience to do that every time you want to play. Is my king in danger? Are any of my other pieces in danger? Okay, if I've passed those two checks, then can I attack anyone? By the time you do that for, the next 5, 10 moves, at the level at which we are learning, somebody has cracked a piece and they've won and they're excited, or there are other lessons to be learned along the way. So, but I say all this to say, um, for me personally, and I hope for most people or for anyone who's learning, chess is not just chess for the sake of it. Chess is how do you improve your mental stamina. That's the second thing. When you are, and I think it happened to all of us when we first started playing, we will get to a point in the game where we are actually fatigued. As in, you've thought through all the positions that
Yeah.
you can, and it's hard for your brain to hook onto the correct one. You thought through, 10 different options. And then maybe you thought to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you got to 10, you now forgot, oh my God, which one was one again? How did I say I was going to continue one? So that's another thing that I think is very, so I tell my students that too. Your brain is a muscle. It's like a muscle. It's like when you go to the gym, the first day you come back and your shoulders hurt and your knees hurt. But one day you find out that
Yeah.
because you can do more than you did yesterday. You can, and I see it too when we're working together. I see when they think through something, you know, farther than they did the last time.
It's always
It's very
beautiful.
rewarding to
Yeah.
see that on their faces. It really is. And I just hope that they take those they take those wins into the other aspects of their life. So when, for instance, and another thing, I always ask them why. I think my students hate me for that reason. Every time I say, okay, what are you going to play now? And there are like three options, and they give me the options. They know the next question that is coming. Why? Chess is not, you don't play a move because you like how the bishop looks or because you think,
Yes, there has to
you
be a
know,
reason. I agree.
there
There's,
has to be a reason. So again, teaching them that in all your um we don't we have a for the younger players, we have a mantra. We use our eyes and our brain before we use our hands.
and
So um we say this because once you touch that piece, don't say, oh. Oh means you knew better, but you didn't do better. So think about it first. Have a reason of why you're playing it. The reason doesn't have to be a good reason, actually, but there has to be a reason. And then when you play, then you can tell me, oh, I played because of this. Oh, okay, interesting reason. Did you consider playing this for this other reason? And then we work through it. So all of this to say, life lessons should be learned as we play, um, just because, and not just for the game itself. That's where chess with AYK is at the
at the moment.
moment. So, yeah.
All right, let's
That's
pick your chess mind a little bit. I really want us to delve into at least one game, before
Ah,
you run. I know that you are in a bit of a hurry. What, you cannot escape this one.
don't
So,
forget,
but
I've become in many ways. Don't forget, I've become in many ways elementary in my chess. So
uh,
these days,
so that means
I
you'll be
think,
able to break it down
I
to
think
us
the way my
in.
students think.
but there is a new update into one of AYK skills. You can also click on the chessboard on the side here. But there is a new update on AYK skills right now. Do you realize that according to information getting to us, AYK is very good when it comes to emceeing children, Christmas parties, and
I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't aware of this development.
now you know
I've
because
not heard.
she's going to put it in her CV on LinkedIn so she can start getting international jobs, to emceeing birthday events, for children. She's good with children, actually. You need to see the way she was handling some kids for a home party recently. Anyway, what do you think? Do you want to go commercial on this or you just want to keep it to one side?
Well, quite honestly, um, I'll say this: you working with children is wonderful, and I say that honestly because number one, they are so honest with their expressiveness, and when you're talking to a child, you see it immediately if they don't like you, or or if they like it. So it's easy to work with them. Number two is they are listening even when you think they are not.
They are listening.
I
Oh, okay,
have students
okay.
who I think they couldn't possibly have heard anything I said in this class. And the next class I see them, they roll out and I'm just in shock, like, you mean you you
Heard
mean you were
everything.
listening? So a couple of adults have asked me to, give them some lessons, and I always tell them no. Um, the pursuits of adults' life mean that you will not wholeheartedly, take. So I think the party was just. I've been doing so much with children. I thought, why not in another arena, right? So
Okay.
it was fun too for me. So, but yeah.
Okay, regarding the broadcast, which one do you want to show? Because we have to send her the link. We'll send her the link so she can watch it from.
Oh, she
Um,
can't see our screen.
yeah, because she can't see her screen yet. If I want her to see her screen, then that means I will have to give me a second. Let me see. Let me share this. And sharing this means that we'll have to. Um, sharing this means obviously Where is it? What does sharing this mean to us? What it means is we have to work on this. So in less than, yep, beautiful. Now you can see the screen, I believe.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, so we can just put you. So in fact, let me just put you over here, so you and Lakute can drag these out um, for the second. Okay, let's go. Here we go.
All right. So we have that current position between Aikoje Odion and I think I believe you can see them on the screen. Like you can see.
I can actually, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have this position here. Any thoughts? This is looking a bit confusing to me. White has 4 pawns, black has 2, but
You know, if I were my student, you know the first thing I would ask?
who is playing now?
Whose turn is it?
Yes, it seems like it's black's turn to play. Black's time is counting down. Black's turn to play.
That's 219 and 350.
What did you say?
219 and 350. Oh, wow. We are in pressure pump. All right, let's see. Black's turn to play. 2 pawns, rook here.
It's a very confusing
White's
position.
Black's turn to play.
Okay, so there is a hanging pawn here.
Hanging.
Sort of.
2
But-
rooks.
Yeah, but this
Two
one
knights,
is it not
one
meant by
knight.
this move? What happens after rook to? What happens after rook to? After rook to g2.
Yeah, but it's Black's turn to play.
No, black just played this move.
Black just captured the pawn.
Yes.
Oh, so rook to g2.
Maybe rook check, and then when the king moves, then rook to g7.
Rook check. Well, yes, that works. Problem is, then rook g3.
Then what?
Rook g3. You can't move the bishop. So essentially, that bishop is not actually protecting the knight.
Yeah, but what I mean is, let's say rook g2 is played, then rook d7. By the way, this is not the live position. This is just analysis. King c6.
Yeah, I can see the live as well.
And then rook d7. So this is what I was referring to, like when the rook goes to g7, protecting against this
If
idea.
rook goes to g7, do you want to move away?
Yeah, I'm just saying that maybe it's a way to protect against this idea of winning.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree, but I'm thinking of a way to capture the knight on b3.
Yeah, but maybe it's not so
So
easy.
side step. Rook f, why capture? Yes, but if the rook is on g2, you need to move away from the g file now. Your white
Yes.
rook needs to move away from the g file.
And once you move away from the g file, I can maybe knight can also move away. But Odion has played a bit of a tricky move, king to c6, with the idea that the king stops. For example, we were saying here that if this rook comes here, then there's rook check, and then the rook comes to g7, right?
Yep.
But by playing the move king to
Rook
c6,
king c6, yes, stopping that rook.
yeah, now you're threatening here so that the rook cannot come to d7. But Akishaya played the move rook to g1, preventing any ideas of rook to g2. So this is the current position that we have. But on the video feed, I think we can see some moves are being made, but we can't, they are not here. But
Rook f3 then.
very complicated position. Who would you prefer to be here? White or black?
Why? It's because of the pin.
Yes, I can see that you don't feel comfortable with this pin, but okay. Now black has gotten out of the pin, so
Oh.
the bishop and the knights,
Are now safe.
yes.
Maybe.
But it's
White's
still,
turn.
what did you say?
White's turn now.
Yeah.
Pawn here. Check, check.
It's not easy.
Oh. Actually, the bishop is not doing a bad job
It's not pinned.
now that he's not pinned because the king can't cross, you know. Hmm.
But what I don't even know who is playing for what. Is black trying to draw? Let's say just keep on checking.
Well, I mean, if black draws, he's good. White may be trying to win because of the extra pawn, but I honestly think that the knight and the bishop outweigh the rook as long as, well, now the bishop is on f7. So what are we going to do about the pawn on h5?
Yeah, but you can't really capture the pawn yet because of this knight is hanging.
Fair.
Let's check in on FM Abdurrahman versus Keiloki Musa versus
One of
FM
my
Abdurrahman.
favorite players. Did you know FM Abdurrahman taught me something too, and I think it was a year or two ago. I said to him, I said I wanted to play a tournament. I hadn't played in years. And I said I needed a refresher. And he said to me, AYK, please don't stress me because why do you want to play? It's not like you play anymore, right? So I said, I just, I wanted to know if I still had it. But I needed a confidence booster. Anyway, I'll never forget. Uh, the first thing he said to me is that when you're done with your opening, make sure that all of you can't analyze through everything.
Yes.
Make sure that the first question you ask yourself is, can I play a forceful move? Find the most forceful move you can play. The move that your opponents must respond to, right? And it will limit the number of um
You have to
it will
counter.
limit the number of scenarios you have to play through. So and honestly, it has been, now every time I play, that's what I look for. As in, what can limit the number of variations I have to
Absolutely.
think through, you know? So yeah.
Yeah. Do we have I think we have a result in Abdurrahman versus Keiloki Musa. If we can get one of them, it would be nice. But I think that the game between Aiko
Game is
Odion.
over.
What did you say?
It seems like the game is over.
Yeah, it seems like yes, Abdurrahman was able to win. We last left it around this point in time, and after
Mm.
queen to c2, yeah, Abdurrahman played the move knight e7, which we were looking at, and then he was able to grab the pawn, and then slowly make progress. Very slowly, was able to make progress, and which led to
Slow and steady wins the race. So
queen. I can't hear you.
slow and steady wins the race. So
Slow, slow and steady indeed wins the race sometimes, but not all the time.
Fast and Furious can do the same.
Sometimes you have to go violent, but today Abdurrahman went slow and steady. Yeah, this. So we are back to this Odion versus Akisheye game.
Can't see. Oh, all right. Oh,
So
the
I believe this probably is the last game. Let me check in the females section. Maybe okay. Michael Bridget is also still playing, but this one looks like it's going to head towards a draw. So the only match game with any intrigue is still this game between Aiko Dion, and Akishe Abiola. Um, any thoughts? Who are you going to? As I asked my captain, I'm also going to ask you. Who are you? Who do you think is?
In this scenario,
Yes.
you want me to pick between white and black? I'm seeing black white having two rooks, and I'm seeing black having rook, knight, and bishop. And unfortunately, I'm being pinned. That bishop can take that pawn on h5. If only I can take that pawn on h5, maybe. And I know white wants to bring the second rook once he gets the chance to this seventh rank, and that pressure on that bishop is going to be a whole top knock to crack. So, by the way, if it is white, it is who's turn to play right now? Black.
Yeah. My question to you is, if you were the one playing black, would you exchange rooks? For
Ex-
example, there's this move rook here check, which forces king c7, and after rook check here, maybe forcing here. So, are you willing to exchange rooks, or do you think that you still want to keep rooks on the board?
Well, if am I playing for a win or I playing for a draw? Because if I exchange rooks, right now, it means I have to do everything possible to make sure at the end of the game, probably if I can secure a rook versus bishop endgame, or from my own point, bishop versus rook endgame, maybe I could get a draw out of it. But any other thing, I don't know. Knight versus bishop endgame.
Okay,
you
so
follow
the
plan.
line is being played.
So
So the
rook
question
check.
is, if Akiseye will decide to play the move rook check.
That it's drawn then. Just take the rook and then end up with the draw. Just
Yeah,
hold on
but
to the draw.
the rook allows you to take the pawn. So, for instance, rook
Just
captures,
takes,
king captures, and
yeah,
then
and
you
that's it.
finally are able to capture the pawn
Pawn
h5,
and it's still drawish.
which is the pawn AYK and Chief Wheels wanted to capture anyway.
Yeah, we want to take that pawn. I think AYK was formerly a member of the Pawn Grabbers Association. I don't know, maybe she has changed from that.
I thought she liked the initiative more than the pawn. That's how I remember her.
no,
Like she
she-
likes going for the initiative.
no, she
That's
likes
like
in the
pawns.
spirit of the King's Indian.
She likes pawns. She likes pawns.
I didn't get that.
I was wondering what's it called? I remember again, this was a conversation with Abdurrahman the year I almost, and I say almost, drew with Femi Balogun with the King's India.
Yeah.
And when I gave up what's it called?
A rook.
I remember giving up my rook. You remember that?
Yeah. I have a good memory.
I remember giving up my rook, and I remember Abdulrahman Triple A being scandalized. Who gives up their rook for a bishop? And I said to him, look, if you play the King's Indian correctly, you will never use that second rook. So it is, advantageous to me. Having said that, in this situation, I think exchange of rooks is, like Wally said, drawing for black. Because it's that extra rook that is giving black distress, honestly. So
Yeah, but capturing this pawn gives black some winning chances, because suddenly you have at least a passed
Pass
A
pawn.
pawn.
Yeah.
Although this B pawn is also a bit annoying, but
all that white needs to do is to remove those two pawns and a piece, and that's the end.
yeah, but it's not so easy to exchange. For example, you have ideas of king here, improving the king, getting the knight somewhere into the game, and then maybe slowly trying to push this A pawn. And these two pieces, somehow they seem to hold this pawn at bay, and maybe also would help you to make progress. So it seems like now with the rooks exchanged, with one pair of rooks exchanged and this pawn gone, then black is the only one who has chances to win. Yeah, I feel it's going to be very, 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 very difficult for white.
At some point, black is going to have to give up a piece for the B pawn, sha.
Yeah, but even if let's look at a scenario. Let me go back and move. Let's say that somehow you were able to arrange this kind of thing. Let me just even make some moves. And then, let me even make this kind of move. The point is that even if you capture this, use your rook and capture these two pieces, black is still ahead in the race.
Yeah.
At the right time, oh. First of all, I don't agree with leaving the G file, right? I don't agree with the rook leaving the G file. And yes, I know that the king cannot make progress, white cannot make progress with the B pawn till the bishop moves. But the bishop has to move. Once the bishop moves, then goes. It, it doesn't seem, maybe it will take a long time before black can, all of that. But oh, you want to go around
Yeah,
via the e5 the king.
yeah. I mean, black needs to find a way to make progress. You are trying to win as black, so you have to. If you can't go through the G file because of this rook, let's see if you can go through
The E,
the
E7, F, D6.
Yeah, if the king can get to F5, I think
that'll be-
aha. So Akisha has played King E7. You have to find a
Yeah.
way to improve the king.
So how did Georgian let him get to the F? Oh, right. He had to keep an eye on the H pawn too.
Yes.
Huh.
And maybe even at some point you play Bishop E6, H4, H3. At least get the pawn also, and the pawn now starts to look really, really dangerous.
Like what is it called? Tersee just said we underestimate the pushing of the passed pawns. Once you have a passed pawn, try and push it, following Magnus Carlsen's advice regarding that, right?
Yes.
So you push it to a point where it becomes problematic for your opponent, and while your opponent is using one eye and is, in fact, the psychological pressure of a pass pawn even on your board, playing against a pass pawn, is something that is there. You're like, hey, this pawn, it must not go. And
Knight is doing a great job at blockading, quite honestly.
yes, the knight is blocked. This knight down, the knight over there is even unstoppable.
So annoying.
Of course, and the aim of the game is to make annoying moves for your opponents.
Let me see.
Quite.
And there are 1 minute. How many? Oh, you're trying to see if William Jessica's game is over?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Ouch. Okay, cool. Is that better? Let me see. Hold on a sec. I can't even see that. Is that better? Yep, it's better. Back.
I haven't played adult chess in a while,
Yeah,
except
better.
to play some. This is fun.
Yeah. So
She's not sure.
she is anymore. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. Good. That's it. Let me see. This game is pushing a little bit towards draw, but I think only with good plays, maybe only black can fight for a win.
Yeah, only black can.
Yeah.
Except there's a huge blunder by white.
By
black,
yeah, sure. And look at it, a pin on the bishop. Attack on the bishop, and the bishop has to go to has to decide to go to either E6 or C5 maybe. And the rook will now go to H7, trying to mop up the H5 pawn.
Bishop here.
Oh, you want bishop in there? Once the rook goes now, even with the bishop in there, you're not even still doing anything. I think probably the bishop should just go back to E8 even. No, sorry. Rook to A. Okay, rook to H7. Rook to H7. Then what happens? You can't stop that pawn, and you can't defend that pawn.
Yeah, but I was hoping that.
That pawn drops. So you see
I
why
was hoping that maybe something around this line would get the other pawn.
it doesn't, because after knight in there, the king just simply goes into C2 to attack the knight. Now the knight needs to go somewhere.
Yeah, but
Hey, whoa! No, you can't do C2. You can't do king C2.
because of bishop F5.
Bishop F5, alien gambit.
Alien gambit.
Have you not seen that guy? You've not seen that guy's video. The guy. When it comes to the alien gambit, I think do I remember he works? I think it works from the Karokan kind of line setup. I guess E4 C6, E4 C6, knight C3. D5, then I think, is it E4, then pawn takes pawn, knight takes, the knight goes to G5, the knight sacks on F7, at the right time. Then they call it he will now scream alien gambit.
I do not watch. I do not watch chess content like that.
Oh no! Actually, it's very, very fun. The guy is very, very fantastic with the alien. Yeah, I think he played the alien gambit against Fabiano Caruana, and he ended up losing anyway. But Caruana was, you know, if it was a blitz, it was a 3-minute blitz or something. Probably Caruana might not be able to have found the best lines towards it because of time pump and other things. But because it was some harder time control, he was able to. But some other GMs that he played
Wait,
with
can you say the alien gambit again?
Wait, hold on a second. Let me just look for it.
No, you can't.
I think no. I just want to type it out. Alien gambit.
We are going to learn
how the alien gambit works. It's a very
Well, I'll leave it to you.
it's against the Karokan defense exactly.
Okay, so E4.
E4,
My day's
C6,
just starting.
D4.
What did you say?
I'll leave it to your learning, guys. My day's just starting.
Yeah, I understand. She wants to leave. She wants to take a leave.
You don't want to learn about the
alien gambit. It just
Thank
take
you very much. I'll stick to E4, E5 for now.
No, the alien gambit is actually for whites who wants to beat the Karokan. You get. So knight c3,
I'm
b
sure
takes,
Lakuta
knight
will be
takes,
interested in that.
knight
You used to
takes.
play the Karokan.
Now after that f6, then knight g5, then h6, and now is the moment knight takes f7, and you scream it.
So now, AYK, you can start your day knowing that
this is the alien gambit. This is the gambit here, so you can see it. It's
the
very,
alien
very.
gambit is part of your
It's
day.
very, very fantastic. If you learn it, you can actually catch guys off guard easily against the Karokan.
Do not do this at home, guys.
No, it's actually been done at home. Anyways, AYK, it's good to have you here. It's a pleasure seeing your
Thank you very
face.
much, Wally.
God bless you. Keep doing what you do. Much
Always
love.
a pleasure. Nice to see you again, Rotimi. Talk to you guys soon.
It's really nice seeing you.
Yeah, bye. Have a good day ahead. Let me try to bring this out such that I'm so sure the camera is going to show that she's off. And that was AYK, former president of the Chess Players Association of Nigeria.
Learning the alien gambit with us.
No, did she learn the alien gambit with us? I don't think so. She left. She left. Alien gambit.
Never ever.
You need to see the guy's video. I think probably I have to look for his video. Let me see if I can get his video.
Never ever played it.
I'll search for him. I'll search for him. Wants to see. Is that his name?
Apparently, there are many terrible people who watch.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think we don't mind showing this guy on the live stream. Witty alien. That's his name. I think he has lots of videos. Sorry, I'm using the Comet, one of the best what is it called, internet explorers in the world right now. This is the guy. So we just click on him and you can watch a video. I'm so sure maybe this guy will be able to even show oh, that's a picture. I need a video of him. Can I get a video link? Yes, he's a content creator he's the content creator of the month for chess.com. But that's whenever he goes to do that, I'm coming with the alien videos. That way we should be able to get some of his videos. Good. Here we go. Let me see. Sorry, this is Zim. I'm so sure. I just want to see if I can get one of his videos for everybody to see, to understand what we're talking about when it comes to the alien gambit. Oh, I didn't subscribe to this channel. I'm going to subscribe. No, that one is too much.
So, quick question. Aliens come to Earth. They challenge you to a game of chess. You have to save humanity. You have to win. They give you the white pieces. What opening do you play?
What is it?
What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I hope all of you are having
this is one
peaceful
of his videos, please. Let's watch it.
Oh, that's true. Karuka has been challenged finally. Inventor of alien gambit, the destroyer of Karukan, my gambit, my legacy. Alien gambit, my gambit, my legacy. He's playing top engine moves, I don't care. Finally, the destroyer of Karukan has been challenged.
19 there. It's so crazy.
My gambit, my legacy. My gambit, my legacy. My gambit, my legacy. The destroyer of Karukan has been challenged. If you play Karukan, you're going to lose, my brothers and sisters. Resistance is futile. Resistance is futile. Resistance is futile. Don't boost spam.
That guy is so funny.
Finally.
Good, you love it. You love it. You love it. Also, that's actually the alien gambit guy waiting.
Gambit, my legacy.
No. Let me just close this. I don't need these alien gambit stories anymore. But anyways, that's just to give you a rough patch of what the alien gambit looks like. The guy's been crushing a lot. Some GMs seriously on that. Night sacrificing the pawn on F7. I know Lakute is just looking at it like, is this really possible? Is this really possible? But actually it's really possible. And it's a very good opening, sacrificing the knight in the beginning of that opening. And it's very hard at times for black to find the counterplay. If you're not careful, just one move and the guy has exhausted the lines. Most variations. He knows the best line against it as well. But every variations leads, if you're not careful, just one slip, you're gone. And for him, once black can find the best position about it, then all this attack fizzes out and he's on his own. Yeah. Very wonderful guy. Alien Gambit. Are you gonna play the Alien Gambit against anybody?
No. So the thing is actually, like, I play the Karukan.
Yeah.
And
now you have to look forward to that.
I've seen a lot of people playing that. I never knew that the name was Alien Gambit. I've just been taking the piece and winning games. So I hope that a lot more people play the Alien Gambit again.
So that you can anti-alienate it. Oh, so we know who to send to the aliens when they come to Nigeria. Like would tell that to me. Once they bring the Alien Gambit, he has a solution to that problem. We are happy. The aliens can take over.
But my own more important question, coming back to non-alien chess, is the game between the two humans, Akisha Ajibola and Koji Ocho. To know that, how exactly are you making progress?
But
it seems like it's just checking.
Now you have to be careful. You have to watch what you say. Just call them two humans. Remember during the Antasha birthday.
Okay, it seems that they've drawn their game. Maybe we should not get any of them in because they've repeated the position three times.
Okay.
None of them could make progress.
I think.
So that means
Odurovsky he's been called a vampire, back in the days.
Yeah, it seems.
So we have one human, one vampire.
I didn't even know that's where he was going. All right. So Pelomo, Jessica, Michael, Bridget. I don't really.
What happened in the game? Can you please flip in that? Is the game still on? Is it going over?
Okay, probably the game is also over because I can see someone's time is saying 0-0-0. So
would have loved to bring either of them because two of them have never been to the streaming room. Let me see if they are available. Yeah. If not, then that means it's a wrap for today. Just give us a second.
Yeah. All right. So, in terms of a quick recap, I think the first game to finish was a game between Ajibola Eunice versus Samson Peace. I was saying that in the opening, Eunice was in a lot of trouble, and Samson Peace had the chance to, play some real attack on the Black King, starting with moves like Knight D4 and Pawn to F5. But for some reason, she didn't go that way. She instead went to knight a5 and exchanged a knight for this bishop, which looked a bit strange, because yeah, it just looked a bit strange. It looked like the wrong direction. It looked like here was where you are supposed to be looking at your pieces. The rook on the f file, they look like there should be an attack on the black king, but piece went for knight a5. Although it seemed like she gained a pawn, but somewhere along the line, the game became complicated, and there was an exchange of 2 rooks for a queen, and after that, queen c2 was a terrible blunder, allowing knight to c5, and once that happened, that means Samson Peace lost her bishop, and after losing the bishop, it turns out that her next move was also a blunder, which made me say to you guys that, whenever you are in trouble, whenever you've just made a blunder, once you've realized that, okay, I've made a huge blunder, just take a moment, breathe in, breathe out, just do that. It's a classical game. Do that for like 2 minutes. And then once you are calm, you can now, try to start thinking again from the beginning. Because if you make a move in that state that you are, that, oh, I've just made a blunder, let me continue playing without, you are likely to make another mistake. And here, she blundered a queen, although she was already in a bad position, but she blundered a queen, and then it's black has a knight and a rook, and is winning the game. All right, the game between Omoru Sandra, one of the leading lights in the junior section, female players, seem to have ended in a draw. The game between Quick Pen and Azizat, we saw where Azizat, aka Fabiano Caruana Fangirl, had a chance to have like a mate in, at the very least, winning her opponent's rook with queen e2. But somehow she made the move queen to e4, and after that move, she was in severe time trouble. And after that move, she blundered a pawn on f5, and that was actually the end of the game, because this, and then she blundered her rook again. That was the end of the game. Umako Chiamaka had a decent position where she was also, but she was trying to fight. She was a pawn down, but she was trying to create some complications. But I think once she exchanged queens, it was never going to be easy, because Iyefu Joy kept the queens, kept the pawn, and was able to slowly make progress. And once she was able to make progress, she was now able to win the game. And that was that one. Michael Bridget and Pelomo Tessica seemed also to have ended in a draw. In the male section, we had the game between I Am Odion versus Akishaya Abiola. Akishaya defended for a very long time, and then at the end was the one with the upper hand, but couldn't find a way to make any progress, even though it was trying to maybe make use of this H pawn. But the rook was controlling a lot of key squares where the king wanted to come in through. So that one ended in a draw. Olisa Tennyson was here in the studio. He told us about his fantastic idea that he and his coach had prepared with bishop captures on e4. Bishop captures on e4, which is, very strange move at first, because it looks like, okay, why not just capture with the knight? But it turns out not to be as easy. Bishop captures on e4 gave Femi Balogun, who actually is not much of a Slav player, gave him a lot of practical problems, which he couldn't solve. And at the end, Tennyson was able to win the exchange, making use of the move queen to g3. Making use of this move queen to g3, if I should point that out around this point. Played the move queen to g3, and then once that happened, was able to play knight d6 and use the d6 square to win the exchange. Callistus, we know, had Callistus was is at his passing out parade for NYSC, so he's not going to be able to play this round. Probably we might see this game on the rest day. Olanrewaju Ajibola lost the exchange against Ohipo Bartholomew. We have not had Bartholomew in the studio yet, so we would have liked to have him here, but it seems like he just quickly went to rest and maybe get some food and prepare for the next round. So probably we'll see him in the evening round. Tersee continues his title defense, winning his game against a Crooked Goodness. The runner-up last year, Abdurrahim, was able to get back to winning ways with a win against Lucky Musa in probably what was the most complicated game of this round. All right, so from us here, we had some interesting guests. We had the organizer and president of the OLCC Chess Club. We had my captain of Team Sachs, Captain AYK Ayokomi Ajayi, former CPAN president, and a very important figure in the helping Nigerian chess, from behind the scenes, was here. And of course, my great partner in crime, the vampire himself.
No, I'm not the vampire.
The alien himself. Chief Wales.
I don't play E4 actually, but I fell in love with this stream when I saw it. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us all the way. And also, we have to give a special shout out to Indidi from Ernest.
Yes, of course.
Very briefly during the stream. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for following us. And a special shout out to the sponsors of this event. We call them again one by one for everybody to see them. These guys have been wonderful. Renaissance Africa Energy Company. Thank you very much for joining. Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank! And we have to put that in the show to everybody. Zenith Bank is in the air. Indomie Noodles, La Sena, Channels, Lagos State Sports Commission. Thank you very much for joining. Orchid Lekki Hotel, one of the best. In fact, do you know why we're trying to wrap this up so that we can go and eat our lunch? It's going to be, I think I want to go for the semo with the okra, snail, the snail.
The chefs here are excellent.
Anyways, you guys, you can't understand. Probably I should record one of the meals and show in the next round, maybe. I don't want people to come and take out of my own meal. So come there and come out that way yourself. Anyways, Orchid Lekki Chess Club itself, wonderful chess club. I think one of the leading chess clubs. In fact, I told somebody one day, I said, where are the clubs in chess? Where are the chess clubs in Nigeria? We only have one, Orchid Lekki Chess Club, and the others. Of course, but for those that are trying to put out a club out there, please work on it. And in the next round, we'll talk about how we can ginger the associations, because I had a one-on-one talk with Odiona Ekoje. Probably one or two things we can make states be involved when it comes to chess in their own, at their state level. It shouldn't be limited to going to the National Sport Festival and coming back. Yeah, we'll talk about that in our next video. But till then, I remain sincerely yours, Oyeleye Olawale, Chief Rose, and thanks to Lakuto Ladrotimi for being with us. See you guys next round 6. We will tell you the winners of the round 5 predictions, round 4 and 5 predictions before we start the round 6. Okay, bye for now. Cheers. Goodbye.
Okay. Aha. Okay. Aha. NCC 2025. The Band of Kings and Queens is going to begin this December. Let's check this out. Aha. A new era is coming. Can you feel the vibe? Just kings and queens, yes, they are on the rise. December 15th to 24th, don't play at Orchid Lekki Chess Club.